guys, so welcome to my first TTC vlog. I don't even know what to call this vlog. Excuse me while I... If you're new to this channel, then if you click in the description bar, I will post a link to my previous video as to why we have decided to TTC. It's been a really difficult decision. It wasn't a decision that was it wasn't an easy decision because I didn't really feel that I was ready, but my husband and our family circumstances have meant that we have decided to TTC, and actually I've got my head around it now and I'm really excited about the idea. I'm nervous, but like now every time I have a free moment where I don't have Sebastian with me, I just enjoy it to the maximum because I know that that is going to be taken, but it will be worth it. And to tell you about my journey with Sebastian, I was told that I was unable to have children, and because I didn't have periods for 7 years, and then I took Clomid, and within 2 months I was pregnant. So, and we also did use Conceive Plus as well, which I think it's the reason why we had a boy, because apparently it sways blue, but I could be completely wrong on that. So yeah, that's the story of us having Sebastian. I did have really severe postnatal depression when I had him. I had a pretty easy pregnancy, but a really severe postnatal depression, and that was one of the reasons why I was nervous about having another one. So this time round, I've always been quite secretive, obviously most people are, aren't they, when they're trying to conceive, and you know, anything can happen and you just don't want everyone to kind of know about it. But I know that a lot of my Facebook friends don't subscribe to my channel. They'll only watch videos if I've shared them. So it'll be interesting to see who gets back to me and who I know is watching this. But natural family planning. Oh no, sorry, I was on the pill until Sebastian was about 6 months old, and I kept getting migraines. This was only a problem since I had him, and the doctor wanted to put me on the mini pill, and I just heard so many side effects and I wasn't really willing to risk it. So I just made the decision that we were going to do natural family planning. So that's what we've done. Obviously, Chris was away an awful lot with the army and being in hospital and ill and this, that and the other, that the chances of me falling pregnant anyway were always pretty slim. So recently I had a real issue with my skin. We're talking about 2 or 3 months ago. I had a real issue with my skin, and I made the decision. I noticed that my cycles were really long and very irregular, so I made the decision to actually start to track my cycles using OPKs. And if you don't know what OPKs are, they are ovulation tests. And I noticed that on the app, when like on a fertility app, it would say that I'm ovulating these certain days, that actually I wasn't ovulating those days at all. I was ovulating a lot later. And it basically meant that I had a really short luteal phase. A luteal phase is the time between when you ovulate and when you have your next period. It's those days between, and ideally you want more than 12 days of that time, and that gives if a sperm fertilizes an egg, that gives the egg plenty of time to travel down and to implant. If you have a shortened luteal phase, then even if your egg is fertilized, there isn't enough time for it to embed, meaning that even if you do, it could end in miscarriage, or you may just struggle in general to conceive. So, but for me in this instant, it was just causing really bad skin, and I really needed to regulate my hormones. So I did some research online, and I started taking chasteberry, or Agnus castus as it's called, and it's basically a natural Clomid. It's a natural hormone regulator. And also I think B12, is it B12 or B6, one of the two, but I take that in like a prenatal vitamin. That is also supposed to help, and within a month it was corrected, and now everything is very regular. My skin is fantastic, it's completely cleared up. I did read this morning that some people were taking Agnus castus or chasteberry right through their pregnancy because they were frightened of miscarriage, and then some people said not to because it can cause uterine contractions and it can cause miscarriage. So I've decided to stop taking it. Now that my cycles have been regulated, I've decided to stop taking it. I think they recommend you only take it for the beginning of your cycle, but I don't know, it's really difficult to it's so conflicting, like the information out there. So I've decided to just stop taking it now and see what happens. So the app that I've been using for starters is just Period Diary. I'm not on Fertility Friend because I think you have to register. If you recommend Fertility Friend, please let me know, because I don't know. But it's a pretty good app. I don't even know if you can see, but basically all it's saying is that it's 13 days until my next period, so I'm now in my 2-week wait. Chris started his treatment on the 13th of January, and his treatment, as I've told you before, gives very serious side effects. So on the Thursday he wasn't feeling too clever, and the Friday he was really ill, and on the Saturday he was just horrific. We did manage to, I ovulated on the 15th. I got a positive OPK, positive ovulation test on the 14th, and usually from a positive ovulation test they say you ovulate anytime between 12 to 24 hours after that. So I got a positive test on the 14th. It says I ovulated on the 15th, this sounds about right. And we did do the deed twice on the 13th and the 14th. Obviously he was just too ill on the other days that were my fertile days. So we didn't do anything then, but I don't know, I'm hopeful. From what I've read, people say, you know, I've been watching loads of programs, and sperm can live in the uterus. It actually lives in the fallopian tubes for up to 3 to 5 days. So I don't know. I don't feel hopeful this month, actually. I feel like nothing's going to happen, but that's fine because we'll try and change it up. He has been really poorly, so I don't know how things are going to go after this. We'll have to see, but nevertheless, I'm now in my 2-week wait. I'm not getting any symptoms whatsoever. Obviously, it's only been a few days. I'm trying to kind of just forget about it, but as you know, it's really hard. Last time I was in my 2-week wait, I literally went mental. I lost my mind thinking that I was having these symptoms and that symptoms, but all my PMS type symptoms are really similar to pre-pregnancy symptoms, so it's really hard to tell. One thing I do get about 4 or 5 days before my period is spotting, so that might be an indicator, but I've always wondered if that was implantation, because it's so similar. But again, we'll see. We'll just sort of see how it goes. I'm now going to go ahead and do some videos on different methods in which you can kind of track your ovulation, and just different things that you can do to help you when you are trying to conceive, and I'll be uploading those regularly, so stay tuned. So please follow, that would be awesome, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye.